are there certain activities or foods or anything that you have to protect that mouth over?
Wow. Look at all I can say is this.
What that mouth do?
Listen, man. Okay. Obviously, he really wasn't a real sax player because honestly, this is what I do for a profession. I use my tongue, my lips, my mouth, my fingers. They are all the strongest of anyone in the world. I can handle any situation. And I mean, I'm pretty much a pro in all of that area.
Subscribe! No, I can hear you, but gotta see that beautiful face.
I know how.
Hey!
There he is. Dude, you have probably looked the same for the last 30 years, I feel like. You don't age.
Are you even 30 years old?
Marry me, Kenny. Marry me. I'm the ripe old age of 36. I mean, I feel like you're just staying right as you've been for the first time I saw you.
Good.
Yeah.
You know, it works. Whatever I'm doing works. I'm going to keep doing it.
Absolutely, man. Where are we at right now? Where are you?
I'm backstage. Let's see. What do you see?
Well, yeah, it just didn't seem like a home setting, so I was curious.
No, I'm down in a dungeon dressing room in Warren, Ohio.
Ah, lovely.
And what's popping? What's going there?
I got a gig tonight at the Packard. Where's my gig? It's at the.
Are you gig ready right now, or is this how Kenny G goes about his day?
Yeah,
Packard Music Hall. No, I'm. This is my normal day. I'm at the gig early, and I prep.
Average day, you wake up and toss on the suit like this?
No, that's for you.
Oh, wow. That is very kind.
I am flattered, and I don't know if that's a joke or serious, but that is amazing. I was like, he's like, I just did Good Morning America, man. That's all. I took the tie off for you idiots.
No. That's for you guys. And then, but when we're done, I'll start practicing. I'll practice probably 2.5 hours, then sound check, and then gig.
If you were not so kind to dress up for us as you did, what's average Kenny G day clothing wise look like?
On the road, I wear the same thing every single day. My black jeans, gray T-shirt, and a gray sweatshirt, and that's it. Same stuff.
It's simple, baby.
Same ones. I mean, I'm on the road for a month. It's the same clothes. Never wash them. They're all good.
Kenny G's a man after my own heart. Then washing clothes super overrated. So is food safety and hygiene.
No. Only on the road because it's too hard to wash clothes on the road. To me, it's hard.
Are you?
Otherwise,
is it like a Mariah Carey status? I wear it once, I throw it out, and I have someone else bring me a new gray T-shirt.
No. I don't have handlers. I'm not that kind of person.
Well, here's a question that we ask a lot of people. So average day, you're in your black jeans. You wrap up for the day. You get home. It's time to chill out before bed. Do you change out of those jeans into some sweats or some relaxed lounge pants, or do you just keep rocking those jeans till it's time to actually sleep?
Those jeans are only on the road. When I'm at home, I just wear shorts.
See, this guy
always wears shorts.
This guy will just wear jeans until it's 11 o'clock, time to go to bed. Now I'll take my jeans off. It's insane.
Yeah. No, I wear shorts. I wear the same shorts every single day. I wash those. I wear them every day. And that's it. My shorts and a T-shirt. That's all I wear around the house. And
you guys are too focused on comfort. It's an unnecessary luxury people have. You don't have to be comfortable.
It's a very necessary luxury.
It is. It is. I need to be comfortable because I'm going to be hanging out all day. But it's not like I go to work and come home at the end of the day. I wake up at home. I wake up. I practice for 3 hours. That's what I do. I wake up, practice for 3 hours. Then I eat my breakfast. And then I figure out the day. I might have some stuff in the studio. I might go play golf. I exercise. That's pretty much it. I don't really have that much else to do.
How much are you playing per day? You said 3 hours there. You mentioned 2.5 earlier in the interview. That's pre-show.
Yeah. That's
a lot of playing.
Yeah, of course. Well, you got to do it if you want to stay good, right?
Yeah, but I feel like you're good. Like you're pretty good. I don't know. Do you still need to?
Are you pretty good? Yeah, I am pretty good.
I like you're there.
I'm not pretty good. I'm really good.
Yeah, that's you're the best of all time.
And that's because I practice so much. I mean, look, if you're Tiger Woods, let's say, is he going to stop going to the driving range because he's good? Tiger, you're pretty good. You don't need to practice anymore. He's still practicing his golf for hours a day. I'm the same person.
Well, it is. Yeah, it's funny you mentioned golf because you did do the Foreplay podcast with our other guys here, and dude, they came out of there. I mean, they were so starstruck. They were like schoolboys. They were like, we just talked to Kenny G, and I think it was one of the not one of the best interview we've ever done. and it's just so funny for, I don't know, I guess that in the time I grew up, like Kenny G to me, it's like you're not even a person. You're like a being, a ghost, you know what I mean? It's just been, you're like this weird celebrity musician figure that has always been there. And the fact that you don't age, you're freaking me out, man. It's unbelievable.
Well, I'm like background music to your life is what you have.
Yeah, right.
You know it's out there, but you never really thought about there's a real person involved in that.
Yeah.
So, I think people are surprised that I'm so like tenacious about my saxophone playing. To me, it's like, bro, you could just wake up, just go play that little thing and put out some music. No, I'm practicing this thing because I'm trying to master something that can't be mastered.
Right.
So
there's never any end to that, right?
No, very competitive. I work really hard. I want to be the best, and I'm not just wallpaper, but I can understand why you say that.
No, but I didn't mean it as that. I just meant that you've just for a I don't know any other saxophonists. You know what I mean? Like you broke through into pop culture and kind of everyday household type name in an industry or using an instrument that doesn't usually do that. Like what was it that made Kenny G catch on to the point that I'm a 15-year-old kid growing up being like, oh yeah, I know Kenny G plays the saxophone.
Well, thanks to your parents, obviously. It's one of those things. It's an intangible. You can't really even say like why. There was no formula. Like there wasn't any set of rules that I went through to go, okay, if I do all these things, boom, I'm going to be super successful and all that. It was just really, I just love the saxophone. When I play it, it sounds different. It sounds the way that I hear it. And when I record my music, I record it the way I hear it. Mm-hmm. It's just different. And fortunately, the world seemed to like what I do. So that's kind of how it happened. So there's things involved like a good record company. And yes, there's promotion. And I'm trying to be as smart as I can about it. But the primary thing is, am I creating this thing that I want to create from my heart? Mm-hmm. And I am. And then I'm lucky that the world seems to like it. And that's great.
Do you do things with like a saxophone that, other people can't dream of? Is it something like, are you that much better than people to the point of, athletes who could do certain things on a court or a field that other people can't do? Are you like inventing new ways and new sounds and new things with the saxophone, or you just play it in a smooth, good way, the music you make?
Listen, of course I try to do all those things. Of course, when I'm practicing, I'm trying to come up with things that I've never heard anybody play. But I think what it is, it'd be like the comparison would be like if you like Celine Dion singing and you also like Mariah Carey. Are they doing stuff that the other person can't do? No, but there's a tone that you like in Celine that you might like better than Mariah, or vice versa. So it's just the fact that when I play, there's a sound as well as all the technique and all the stuff. So it's not a better. There's a lot of really great sax players in the world. I wouldn't say better. I say it's just that there's something in there. There's some magical little thing that I'm lucky that it's there. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In doing research for this, I read a Vanity Fair article about the new HBO documentary Penny Lane, listening to Kenny G, and I think the headline of the article was like, Kenny G doesn't care if you like him or something along those lines. And I believe you went so far as to say, I don't give a fuck. And they blurred that out, Vanity Fair. We can say it here.
Did I talk like that?
It says, Kenny G would love you to love him, but... Oh, that's my phone. But if not, I don't give a fuck. Who doesn't like you? That was a revelation to me. I was like, people dislike Kenny G. Kenny G's the fucking man.
What's not to like?
Bro, you got to watch the documentary. You'll see the people that don't like me. They're in there.
But they are
like enemies.
They're like traditional jazz people, right? So they're It reminded me of an article I was reading recently of it was about Mark Hoppus and his beating cancer. And Mark Hoppus was talking about when Blink-182 came out, and I think NoFX, who's a band he loved was considered a great punk band, they had a line in one of their songs like, fuck Blink-182 and their fans. And he was like, I couldn't have cared less because I was making so much money and I was so popular. I didn't care what the establishment thought of me. And it seems to me that you're on the same page.
Yeah, but not really. No, I don't say that because I'm making money and I'm successful. That's not why I'm saying it.
But you're doing it?
That's a side effect.
Well, that's a nice fringe benefit. Okay. I'm not saying that doesn't exist. But for me to say I don't give a fuck whether you like me or not, it's because I'm doing the music that I want to do the way that I want to do it. It's not because I'm successful and I'm well known. So when people say it like that, I don't like them when they say that, because then I think they're just full of shit and they're full of themselves. I don't like that.
Really?
Yeah.
So
because you should never be looking well, I don't care what you say because I'm successful. You should say, I don't care what you say because what I say is sincere to what I believe. That's how you should be saying it.
Yeah, that's from the heart, but it's nice to be it's a fringe benefit to be like, I can say fuck you because I'm one of the greatest of all time. I sold a bajillion records and everything. You know, it gives you the clout to say that.
Nah.
Because no, Kenny, no. Because if you say that and you're not Kenny G and you're not where you're at, it doesn't carry the same weight.
Hey, I've been saying it since I was just starting out.
Yeah.
So before I was famous and before I was successful, I was saying the same thing. Because look, to do the music that I did, I had to go against all the advice of people that are telling me what can be done, what could get radio airplay. And okay, so at that point, if I'm saying F you, it's only from one reason only. It's because I'm doing it from my heart. Yeah. And that's the same thing, man. It's the same thing. Now, I'm not going down that road like you egomaniacs. You got your hot show and you just think you can do anything.
Trying to get like you, Kenny. Trying to get on your level, man. I mean, when you do something like when Kanye invites you to do that performance for Kim, first of all, you know, what kind of is that experience like? And secondly, you know, that's something that, you know, Kenny G, the saxophonist, gets offered that I'd imagine some other saxophonists or other musicians are like, fuck, you know, why not me, or why Kenny G, right? So,
probably.
Right. I feel like it's things like that maybe create some of the haters or a different, you know, vibe or whatever. But I mean, that's something that only you get that offer, and then people right away go like, oh, it's Kenny G. You know, it could have been anybody playing the saxophone in the background, but we know it's you, right?
See, that's the big compliment, is the fact that when you hear a few notes from my horn, you know it's me. Right. So that's the compliment. And that's the thing that just happens because it just happens. Like, okay, I was actually talking to a couple guys on the bus about this last night. We drove from Detroit. We played a gig last night in Motor City Casino in Detroit. Get on the bus, and now we drive overnight to where we are here in Ohio. So I was talking to the guy about this. We were talking about the difference between learning to play an instrument now in today's age and when we did. So we didn't have any connection to the world. So no YouTube, there were no computers. Think about that. No cell phones. Okay. So how did I learn to play? Well, I maybe heard something on the radio, but I just took my saxophone into a room and practiced and just figured it out. And so that's where you say that you know my sound by a few notes, is because I didn't have the world to compare to and then try to emulate. Like there's a lot of really good players now, but they kind of all sound the same because they're listening to each other. The whole world is at their fingertips. And yet they don't have the same thing of like going in and discovering it themselves and just like, you know, taking the layers off of whatever you're taking the layers off all by yourself without an instruction from YouTube on how to do it.
Right. So, and so how does Kanye, is that something set up by the music people, the industry, or is that like a direct, hey, Kenny, it's me, I need a favor?
Okay, well, so there's people that I guess know Kanye and also know me. So I got a text from a publicist. His name is Mark Young, really cool guy. And he says to me, he goes, hey, Kanye wants you to come and play for Kim tomorrow morning. Now, I know Mark, I don't know Kanye. And I say, well, is this a good thing to do? Now he's a publicist, so he's going to think it's a good thing to do, right? They just love that kind of stuff. Yeah. So now I get another text from David Foster, the famous producer, and he's a friend of mine. Now he's a music guy, and he says, he calls me K-Man. He says, K-Man, You should go over to do this thing tomorrow. So I said, David, seriously, is this a good thing or not? Because I don't want to look like I'm out there chasing exposure. You know, like, hey, he'll do anything to get on more Instagram, views. Right. No, bro, you got to do it. It's going to be cool. I said, okay, but what kind of house is it? What am I doing? What am I playing? Are you going to be there with your piano? No, I'm not going to be there. I said, well, what is it going to be? Just my sax? Yeah. So what kind of house is it? He goes, you'll like it. It's got like marble floors. And like a sax player loves to play in a stairwell, right? We love that because the sound goes everywhere. Says, okay, cool. So I said, okay, I'm going to do it. So I had still not talked to Kanye. Not talk to him. So I get there and we were talking about security at the house, right? Big time security. And by the way, it's raining. So I'm under an umbrella. They shuffle me into some room. Now I'm sitting in the room and I still haven't met Kanye, but I'm texting his manager. I'm at his house. Yeah. He goes, well, he'll be around soon, but Kim is doing makeup somewhere. And okay, so an hour and a half later, I'm saying, guys, what's going on? What am I supposed to do? Okay, just sit tight. And then a couple minutes later, Kanye walks into the room. Unbelievable. Like I'm telling you, there's an aura about this guy. Yeah. He was unbelievably nice and welcoming. He put a smile on you. There should have been angels flying around him. Seriously. Really? Yeah. He comes over, he gives me a hug, and I said something like, we should have done this a long time ago. like Matt. We should have met. Yeah. And then he just starts rambling about stuff in his life like I'm his best friend. That's and eventually I say, Kanye, you should tell me what it is that we're going to do here. And finally gives me some instruction. We go downstairs. He shows me the spot. He goes, okay, now look, sit tight. We're going to wait for Kim to come down. Okay. Another hour goes by.
Oh man! So
it's okay. It's okay.
It was probably like a 4 or 5 hour affair for you.
It's okay. He wanted it to be a special vibe. So
was it a proposal or just a celebration or what was the occasion?
Just him. It was him providing his wife a Valentine's Day surprise.
You son of a bitch,
Kanye. That only Kanye can do.
Yeah. What if Kanye calls you up right now? Because Kanye's in the news quite a bit after his show out in L.A. And, where he was, let's say pleading with Kim to come back. What song would you cut on if he was like, we're going to do a surprise for Kim? What's your go-to song to get someone to come back, to re-fall in love, say?
Well, okay, so let's see. What did I play last time? Last time I played for her my song called Forever in Love. That's my song. Because there's no words. I decide what the song is called. I would actually think that would be the same. I would play the same song because it would remind her of this Valentine's Day. See what I'm saying? And Forever in Love. It's like, Kim, this is all about being forever in love. So I think that's the right call.
I think you are 100%. I think you hit the nail on the head. Best answer.
Also, though, considering you can just make the names of the song you want, you could just make a song called like "Kim Take Kanye Back." This is a little ditty I like to call "Take Kanye Back."
And I could just make up the notes too, and it's like, oh yeah, I just wrote that. Yeah, and then they wouldn't know the difference.
The other thing I remember about you when I was growing up was the world record for longest note held, which is
that made it on your radar, huh?
Yeah, but what's so funny is like over the years, because I think about it quite a bit, honestly. I kind of feel like I bring it up probably more than the average person would. I feel like in my mind that note, you could have told me you held it for like 30 minutes or like 2.5 hours. Like it ranges. I feel like you could have played it for like a day straight. But what was and how does that go down? Like do you set out to be like, I'm gonna go break the world record?
Okay, so I was doing the what's the show? The Regis. Remember when Regis was on TV? Regis and Kathy Lee show? Yeah. One of those morning shows. I was doing it, and one of the other guests was this guy from Guinness World Book of Records. So he was backstage, and they were asking me about the circular breathing technique that I do. And the guy says to me, hey, you know what? You should set a world record. I said, what is the world record? He goes, it's never been set. I said, well, I'll set it right now. I'll hold it for 1 minute. He goes, no. He goes, come down and we'll do it formally. So I went down to a record store in Manhattan and they filmed me doing it. And it was that's how it came about. It was pretty cool. And I'm surprised the world was really like, I don't know, they were very interested in this thing.
Yeah. Well, and how many minutes was it?
45 minutes.
45 minutes. And you've only done it that one time. Have you ever like sought
No.
out to break it again? No one. And
I could break it again. I think somebody tried to, or somebody might have broken it. But you know what happens is it's like anything else. Once that happened, nobody really cares that much anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
like I could break
thing.
it right now, and I don't think people would care.
Well,
I disagree.
I think that
I
had time to do it.
I
on the
hadn't
internet
heard
age.
about this.
Yeah.
And then Kevin told me fairly recently, as he does, weekly, bringing this topic up. And I was like, what do you mean he held a note for 46 minutes? And he's like, yeah, he can hold a note. I was like, so what prevents you from holding it for 2 hours? You could. It just boredom.
Yeah. Did you just stop that day in the record shop?
Well, look at physically, it might be hard to have all that pressure on your mouth for that period of time. It's not that easy.
So like when you got to let's say 46 minutes and 15 seconds, were you like, I can't do it anymore?
No, actually, no. What happened was a drop of saliva got in the reed, and the sound went and the guy goes, stop.
Oh, fuck.
I didn't even stop doing my thing. I was like, I didn't go,
but the note wasn't technically held.
Interesting.
He had some meter he was reading, and it's like, it's got to go along with these parameters. I said, okay, cool.
So if that didn't happen, how long were you prepared and thinking you were going to go? Like forever? You'd still be down there to this day. Just
I was thinking probably if I got to, well, first of all, it'd never been done before. And I don't think I had ever held a note longer than like 10 minutes just because there was no point. So once I was past like 20 minutes, I thought, shit, how long is this thing going to happen? Then it was 30, then it was 40. I went, whoa, I said, now I got to go to an hour. I got to get to an hour. I was so bored.
I know. You got to put something on TV or something while you're doing it.
And people were there watching, and I just literally felt so sorry for them.
Yeah, it's like
I was watching me do that and going, go do something else for a while. Come back.
I would watch a live stream and I would tune in. Like, all right, are you still going? I'm gonna go to work. I'll come back. I think if you do it now and you can last like. If you don't have a saliva mishap and it goes on a long time, I think that would be. I think there would be interest in that. Maybe I'm just speaking for myself because I'm obsessed with this. But
maybe I should like ask like Fallon or one of Kimmel or something and say, look, put me backstage with whatever gadgets, and I'll start holding the note. You do your show. It's an hour show.
Sure.
Just keep cutting back. Keep cutting back. And don't make me laugh. Obviously, I laugh, I'm gonna lose it. But then maybe that's the way to do it. I don't know.
I would definitely do it, man. I think the internet would eat that up these days. What was there? When was the moment? Like, how old were you? I guess when you became Kenny G. Like, what was like the tipping point for you? Did you have a specific appearance or a show where all of a sudden it was like, I'm famous?
Yeah. So in the documentary, I talk about this. So I'll tell you again, just so it's. People that haven't seen the documentary, I'm not saying you got to watch it or anything. So, but this is the main thing. So in 1986, I was on the Johnny Carson show. So you young people now, you know it as the Jimmy Fallon show. Yeah. And also Jay Leno used to host the Tonight Show. Okay. But when Johnny Carson hosted, there was no Kimmel. There was no Late Show. There wasn't an Oprah. There wasn't an Ellen. There wasn't anything except the Johnny Carson show. So you got to understand that all the talk shows combined that you know of today in the entire world, if you take the Johnny Carson show, it's all of those shows combined times 1 million. Okay, so if you're on the Johnny Carson show, you and you do well, you've made your career.
Right.
You're on the Johnny Carson show and you bomb, your career's over. It's done. Completely done. You are going to be known as the guy that sucks.
Right.
That's crazy.
So
that's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of fucking pressure.
It is. So I had a manager at the time who was managing this guitar player named George Benson. George Benson was the most famous guitarist in the world at the time. So Johnny Carson wanted George Benson on the show. My manager, God bless him, he said, "Look, you want George Benson? You got to have the saxophone kid." We don't want him. We don't want a sax player on the show. Well, you can't have George Benson. Okay, we'll take the sax player.
Wow.
Okay. So that was leverage. So I got a shot on the Johnny Carson show. So at the time, the record company did not know what to do with me. As I was telling you earlier, like there was no place for my music. Everybody's telling me not to do these instrumental stuff. And the record company had put out a vocal song with me playing a sax solo. And I said, people are going to think I'm the vocalist. Nah, it's okay. They'll like the song. They'll come. They'll listen to it. They'll read the liner notes, and they'll find out Oh, Kenny G, he's the sax player. Oh, let's listen to more things. I said, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard of in my life. But hey, that's what was happening.
Wow.
Okay. So I'm on the Johnny Carson show to play the vocal single because it's actually doing really well. And this is going to be a big moment for the single. It's going to make everything happen. And the record's going to, and the record company, they're just salivating. And everybody's, man, they're going, man, play the single. It's going to be so great. Okay. So as the curtain's going up, and it's a live show. So it's not like what we have now is where they tape it. And if you say the word fuck, they can, they edit it out or they bleep it or, there was no bleeping, no nothing.
Right.
It was way before that wardrobe malfunction thing. That's what started it all, right?
Right.
Yeah, before that, it was just live.
Let it rip. Yeah.
People knew to behave themselves. Okay. Right. So the curtain's going up. It's live right now. Here it goes. I look to the guys in my band and I go, play my song, Songbird. And the guys are going, my guys are going like, what? Wait, didn't you hear what they said? Yeah. Play Songbird. Start playing right now. And we start playing this instrumental against everybody's wishes, right? Now, the guy that booked me is standing behind I'd never been on TV before, never. So I don't even know what's being on TV like. So the curtain goes up. All I see is black. I see, space. I see cameras. I can't see a person, but I can see the guy that booked me. And he's going like this.
Fuck yeah.
And he's giving me the finger and he's doing this and goes, and I'm playing my la 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 la. I'm playing my little beautiful song. And I'm watching this guy going, he's really mad. I'm thinking, that guy's really mad. And I actually don't care.
Dude, that's a crazy move. Yeah, first time on TV, you just described how important it is. And you throw an audible at the last possible second. You're a madman.
Okay, so that happens. He comes back after the performance. You're never going to be on the show again. How dare you take this opportunity? We didn't even want you on the show. You're a freaking sax player. Right. We did just this favor, and you do this? Oh my God, you're not playing on anyone's show. You are black, whatever, blah. And I went and I said, look, I've been watching Johnny Carson since I was a kid. I had to play the song from my heart. I had to. Jeez. I'm so sorry. So Monday morning, Clive Davis, who I'm with, Clive Davis, the famous Clive Davis, he gets a meeting with people and they go, hey, Clive, there's this response to this instrumental the guy played on the Tonight Show. We got to support this. This is the new single, Clive. Forget the old single. This is it. And so Clive says he starts writing letters to all the radio programmers around the country and said, listen, I need a favor. I gave you Whitney. I gave you Dionne Warwick. I gave you Barry Manilow. I need a favor. You got to play this instrumental. And they say, yes, Clive. And the thing becomes a huge hit. My career becomes my career. And 6 months later, they call from Johnny Carson. They say, hey, we want you back. Please play Songbird. Please play
Wow, man.
How about that?
That is like
what a story.
Like you truly
that's the reason that you guys even know of me. That's the reason right there. If I played the other song, I might just have been forever a background sax player with vocal music, and that might have been my career.
Wow. So that happens, and you're like off to superstardom. Are there like saxophonist groupies?
I suppose so.
Yeah.
That was the most there is without saying it. I mean,
are you dabbling in that?
Speaking of saxophone groupies, actually, and you mentioned earlier mouth pressure, and I feel like you had to know this was going to come up at some point.
Well, with you guys, anything's going to come up.
The Seinfeld episode. Was there any consultation with Kenny G there?
I don't know what that is. I don't know what episode.
You don't know John Germain?
No.
Oh.
I don't know this.
Get out of town, Kenny G. You know about John Germain? Tell the man.
Those words that you just said mean absolutely nothing to me.
All right. Well, we'll wrap up on this. But here's what happened. Elaine starts dating a saxophonist, hot new saxophonist in town. Okay?
Oh.
John Germain is his name. But Elaine has a massive problem with John Germain. John Germain doesn't perform oral sex on Elaine. So, throughout the episode, she's trying to get John Germain to go down on her, and then she finally convinces him to because he decided to add a new move to his repertoire.
Mm-hmm.
But that night at the club is when all the scouts are coming, the music execs. However, him and Elaine go have a quickie. He comes out on stage, John Jermaine can't play the sax no more. John Jermaine's tongue is tapping out, Kenny G.
Awesome.
Yeah, are there certain activities or foods or anything that you have to protect that mouth over?
Wow. Look at all I can
Kenny
say is
G,
this.
what that mouth do?
Listen, man. Okay. Obviously, he really wasn't a real sax player because honestly, this is what I do for a profession. I use my tongue, my lips, my mouth, my fingers. They are all the strongest of anyone in the world. I can handle any situation. And I mean, I'm pretty much a pro in all of that area. Let me
Man,
I'm professional. What do you want to say?
That's why the groupies are coming.
That experience would have just been a warm up for me for my gig. I wouldn't have been tapped out. See, that's why you don't know the name John Jermaine. He's not real. Not a real sax player.
He's no Kenny G. That's for goddamn sure.
Could you do that for 46 minutes straight? How long could you hold that position, Kenny?
Oh, bro, listen. There's no. It could be endless. I've got muscles up here that are so developed that no one in the world has.
Yo, we gotta turn this interview off before Kenny G steals my girlfriend.
I'm getting too hot over here. God damn.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like that guy. You know that movie like Good Luck Chuck? Like they just gotta try me out. I gotta try that out.
Take Kenny G's mouth for a ride. You are the man. That is so funny. And you know what? You know what's funny? He's not joking.
We haven't even talked about the horn part. We're just talking about that part.
All right, man. This is incredible.
You see the size of those things right there? The size of that?
Size matters. Size
does matter.
Oh
man.
my God.
Absolutely legendary. All right, so the documentary is out now.
New album as well, right?
Yep.
Brand new album. It's out last week called New Standards. Love that it's. Listen, it takes me a long time to make a record. I'm so happy it's out.
Awesome.
So happy.
And
because for me to be happy with it takes a while.
And if you want to do the world record live stream, we'll set it up at Barstool for you.
Yeah, hell with Fallon.
You don't need Fallon to do it. We'll do some live show stuff,
good.
and we'll pop back and forth. You can maybe be on stage with us, or you could be wherever you need to be, and we'll put it on screen. I'm telling you, you said earlier you're not the type of guy to go chasing exposure and stuff like that. Kenny G doesn't need to do that, but it would be a great deal of exposure. I swear to God. And then afterwards, we'll watch you go down on someone. It'll be a whole thing. It'll be a whole experience.
So look,
give me some circular breathing.
So the way that this thing works, this long tone thing.
Yeah.
So and by the way, you're gonna have a field day with this, so I'm just gonna give it to you right now. So, while I'm blowing, I'm inhaling at the same time. So I can be down there for a long period of time. So it's funny how it works. Like, let my horn warm up a second.
Yeah, sure.
So the reed on there, it has to, oh God, it has to be wet to work. I'm sorry,
it does, Kenny. That's how it works.
This is sax technical jargon here.
Yeah.
Okay, so watch this. I'm not doing it right. Hold on. Hold on.
Get out of town.
For 46 minutes.
See, I can keep going. I'm not out of air. See me breathing there while I'm doing it?
Yeah, I mean, it's much more. You see everything flexing, and that it sounds like New York City at rush hour. Someone on the horn.
I know. See how annoying that can be for an hour.
Now that's all I'm gonna try forever now. Nope, can't do it.
I'm gonna be down there. I'm gonna be down there, all sorts of breathing and puffing and puffing.
For you guys, you're just gonna need Cialis, but I don't.
Kenny G, man, it was an honor. Thank you so much, dude.
Pleasure, Kenny. Thank you so much.
I'm sorry that we got down into the gutter, but we did.
That's where we live. We're sorry we brought you down into it.
You in, baby.
Yeah, you dragged me down. Hey, I'll go down there anytime with you guys.
Yeah, you
I
will.
enjoy it.
Yeah, you will. All right.
No pun intended. On that.
Have a good one, Kenny.
All right, Kenny.
All right, guys.
Bye.
Take care.
All right, the holiday season is approaching. All I want for Christmas this year is YouTube subscribers. We got to get to 100,000. I want that
Please, sir, can you
100,000
buy these
plaque.
subscribers?
We've got a goal for all you out there, for everybody. At 100,000 subscribers, Polly Feidelberg will join us on the show. Maybe. Well, if not, we'll probably have to trick her into it. But at 100K, you will get Polly content. So subscribe, click the bell icon so you get notifications so that you're always watching. Leave a comment below. Talk about it. Post about it. Spread word. Tell your friends. 100,000 subscribers on KFC Radio for Polly Feidelberg. Let's make it happen.